Hello guys, it's Mr. Blobfish here, and today we're watching one of my Rome 2 replays. This is against a cheater, I would consider in my books, and let's just pause it so I can understand. So, Rome 2 is kind of iffy when it comes to land battles. I find that sometimes, you join a land battle, and people stay, and then it gets really laggy, and then everyone leaves, and then sometimes, it takes too long to load, so everyone just leaves, and then sometimes people don't follow the rules, and that's one of these times. So I specified pretty clearly that no artillery. You could do anything you wanted, just no artillery and no horse archer spam. That was the only rules I made, and I told it to him multiple times, right? I said just no artillery, no horse archer spam. Simple as that. That's all I told him. Horse archer spam because it's really annoying when I've had times when people bring like 8, 10, just obnoxious amounts of like missile cavalry, and then they just kite them the entire game and just absolutely demolish your army. I just wanted an actual battle. So Carthage versus Rome, I thought this would be fun. So let's get into it. So I have this formation here. This is what I thought in my head. I have my nobles in the front, mercenary, noble fighters, square in the front. Then I have my African pikemen on the sides, these 2 African pike units. And then I have Libyan infantry, so I have 3 Libyan infantry units on the sides, both supported by 1 Balearic slingers. And then I have 2 noble cavalry on the sides. And then in the center, I have some mercenary Samnite warriors and my mercenary Cretan archers. And then I have my general. So, yep, forgot to lock them into place, kind of just dragged them forward, so general runs out first, and this is where I realized it. He brought, not 1, 2 artillery, and I hadn't noticed it because I was, like, micromanaging these dudes and whatnot. Yeah, he brought 2 artillery, even though I told him multiple times, do not bring artillery. I guess he just thought it would be funny. He saw it, he said, okay, yes, okay. I'm like, okay. 2 artillery, and of course, the first thing he targets is my general. The first thing he targets, and already, look at that. That's not fair, guys. Come on, man. I said no artillery. We're having a fun game. It's Rome versus Carthage. You agreed to no artillery, and then you bring 2 artillery pieces. Right. 2. So my instant thought is, okay, let's look at what he has. 1 cavalry unit. So he basically just wasted his money on artillery, then just got a crap ton of Hastati, and then on his flanks he got some legionary cohort. No cavalry. He has Eagle cohort protecting his flanks. I don't know how well it's going to do against cavalry that's much faster. So, shock cavalry that I was planning to use hammer and anvil on. Yeah. It's flanking time. I'm going to do that. Position my line here. I haven't actually lost many units. He surprisingly decided just to target my general until, now. He targets some pikemen. I think he also hits, actually no, he just targets the pikemen. I guess he thought that the pikeman would be a very big matchup against his Hastati, and he didn't want his main line to break, so yeah. And yep, Rome 2 is being a little bit buggy. The reason this hasn't charged in yet is because I literally pressed the button, I clicked double time for them to run, and then they walked, and then I binded them. I don't know. Rome 2. Might have been just my fault. Doesn't matter. It's fine. So those guys are charging into this, and he doesn't realize it. I'm like, bruh. He literally just moves up his Eagle cohort, his armored legionaries or whatever. Wait, where does? Yeah, his Eagle horn margin, those dudes. And then, yeah, my word, sorry. These guys both charge in, and then he tries to do a skirmish fight with Syrian auxiliary infantry against noble fighters, which pretty good. They don't have the best armor, but honestly, they're gonna get a Pila volley first of all. And second of all, they're gonna get a charge. So I make that charge happen. As you can see, Hastati literally just getting lit up. Absolutely demolished. Cheap units, bad stuff. And what happens is my formation kind of fails here. The center works. Everything to this side works, but then this falls short. As you can see, I have mercenary Samnite warriors. I got some African pikemen. 3 units here, and I got 1 unit. 2 units versus 4. I only have 1 slinger unit to make up for it. So my goal was basically, you know what? The formation kind of failed. Not necessarily, kind of failed. Focus down these areas. Focus down these points here. Here. And then let this archer just deal with this area and try and see how much. And I already won the cavalry fight before it even started. This cavalry does nothing. I win this part. Charge it into the backs of his archers. I already won the skirmish fight. Cavalry and skirmish fight are already won. And I destroy all of his artillery. I felt like what he was trying to do is he didn't want to retreat units because he had this thin line, right? And if he retreated units to protect his stuff, what would happen is he just had these massive gaps, and I was actively charging him, so he'd have to fill in those gaps in time. And also, I think his line's very weirdly made. It's a Stadi, and then it's really strong units on the flanks. And I think he was trying to go for some weird, like, I push in the center, and then he pushes me on the flanks with his long line. But since I matched his long line, I kind of destroyed that entire idea. I think he thought I had elephants too. I think that was one of the things he thought I had. Anyway, retreat my noble cav. They're getting shot down by some auxiliary Syrian archers I didn't get, but I killed most of them. He actually does retreat in this unit of armored legionaries in this Stadi. I think it's Eagle cohort. Yep. Into this. And the noble cavalry doesn't actually take that much of a beating. Neither do these guys, to be honest. The Hastadi do kind of. I mean, that's a pretty good trade-off. And the Eagle cohort too. So then I'm just like, oh, yeah. Charging straight to the general. Catch general off guard. General takes, you know, almost 10 of his units on it. And on the main line, I'm winning over here. This side has one. Libyan infantry have wrecked some poor Hastadi, and since this entire strong unit's been pulled away, I basically killed 2 units for free. This Hastadi's not being micromanaged. His African pikemen are just getting demolished. I think he was microing this a lot because he actually managed to kind of like, I don't know, he just sent more troops in. And this is like some kind of weird broken like noble fighters that he'd microed a lot to kill. Anyway, this side is doing a lot better. Still holding this line here, just I'm firing down, it's fine. But over here, he's done a better job of holding off against my African pikemen. And you guys are like, oh, Mr. Bloodfish, this is pike stacking. Look, you have 2 units. Dude, I just dragged and clicked. Like, what do you expect? Anyway, he does actually put all of these dudes into Stedo. Which is really nice, pretty smart. I mean, it helps them against themselves. Cavalry, he does actually get a good charge with the Soci Extraordinaria, I'm not even gonna say that. On this cavalry, they lose a bit of dudes, so I pull them out. General routes, nice. His general was dead. It's pretty good. And then Eagle Cohort takes on my poor Libyan infantry. I actually do push up my archers here. Start firing down here. Push up all my archers here. Honestly, a lot of you might be like, oh, but he's pushing you with Eagle Cohort. Tostedo makes you slower. A lot of people keep forgetting that Tostedo makes you slower. He won't catch up. The minute he gets out of Tostedo, he's literally dead. Like, there's nothing you can really do. You're just gonna get melted down. And then I'll just put these guys on skirmish mode and play the kiting game. Because if you're gonna play the artillery game, I'll play the kiting game. Anyway, flank him with this Libyan infantry that he kind of forgot about. And yeah, it really all came down to these 2 pockets. One, which is versus Soci Extradari against Mercenary Samurai Warriors, and not over here, which is versus Eagle Cohort and like Hastadi and Armored Legionaries. And General comes back. He actually gets some dudes that come back. I got some dudes later on that come back, like this guy right here. I don't actually notice that. Doesn't matter. Pushed up my general so I could use the rally button because I think I forget who. Yeah, these 2 units wanted to make him happier. Anyway, they're kind of melting these guys, not really, like one dude. But they do get charged, unfortunate. I didn't think this would be much of a problem, because I thought that I was winning, but then here, he supports this side with the flank, so he flanks over my African pikeman. He actually throws his Pila at the Mercenary Samurai Warriors. Pretty bad idea, could have gone for the African pikeman. Anyway, African pikemen, I think they kind of reform, it's weird. They kind of reform. Over here, not looking so good. I charge in my general with this Eagle Cohort. They're getting kills. And this mercenary Balearic Slingers retreat. They're going back and forth. Over here, I've basically won in my books because I was breaking this unit, right? But then I realized it was a Stadi. I hadn't broken these 2 units, this Eagle Cohort, and they're pretty high. They're pretty high. Anyway, I actually finished off his general, pushing back with the cav, which is very important. Gonna take out this unit of auxiliary Syrian archers. Just, you know what, finish off the archers. Don't want anyone, just no more problems with that. I charge in my Balearic Slingers. They run out of ammunition straight into this Eagle Cohort. Not a good idea, but I just didn't want any opportunity for flanks. I didn't want this flank. My archers have basically run out of ammunition at this point, and we're just basically being used as this weird backline unit to prevent all of these units from coming back to the main fight. I basically wanted to hold these units as much as possible so I could try and win this fight. Anyway, you can obviously tell this fight's going much better than this fight. However, I am still winning this fight over here. So yeah, they do get surrounded, but Mercenary Samurai Warriors with 87 kills against Soshi Extradari with 98 kills is pretty good. They're pretty evened out, almost about a 10 kill difference. African Pikemen have 105. Legionary Courts are definitely doing better, but I actually put these guys into guard mode, and then I put them in this little box. And yep, his Legionary Court are literally just getting thrown back. Like, they're just getting bounced back by those pikes. Anyway, yep, Samnite Warriors are dead, but it's okay, because, cavalry. Cavalry's coming to aid you. Anyhow. Basically just slowly moving by my general. I kind of messed up here, didn't make him run. Balearic Slingers get overrun by these two units, but they're still holding. They're still holding. They make these units just stay there for a long time. And I charge in these Mercenary Cretan Archers behind, and I guess that basically finished that off for this guy here. He gets basically every single unit effect that there could possibly be. And he's only lost like 60 dudes, which is pretty insane. And at this point, I knew it was a win. I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, look, 1, 2, 3, 4 units left, and they're all in your backline. What are you going to do? 4 units, right? You're totally screwed. Look. You only have African pikemen and, like, freaking noble cavalry. What are you going to do? They're all behind. Look. They're all here. So even though you got some, you know, Legionary Cohort, Praetorian Guard, Legionary Cohort, pretty damn good units, it doesn't matter. They could pick off this Libyan infantry without getting a single probably kill. General's Bodyguard wouldn't hold up against them. These Balearic Slingers might. These dudes probably might. These guys probably not. Honestly, all these 4 units, honestly, if you just decided just to charge them in here, I would have lost this and it'd be much harder. But here's the thing, they're behind. The whole point of sacrificing my archers was to make them stay behind. So yeah, he's gonna charge, but they're behind. They take time. And I think I might actually get these units in before. Anyhow, decide just to push up the Slinger unit and these 2 returning Libyan infantry units. Why not? I mean, this guy is basically done. Legionary Cohort. They're tired, confident, casualties sustained, and then that one, like, Pila Volley not Pila Volley. Archer Volley takes out maybe 4 guys. Pretty good. And, yep. These guys are done. Rowdy. So, yep. That's basically gonna have it. That's the simplest way you can defeat a cheater. He wasted all of his time, all of his money on these stupid Roman heavy onagers. Tried to, you know, be cheeky with it, obviously. Said no artillery, brought 2. Targeted my general. General literally lost all of his dudes. He had, like I said, like 20 out of 40 by that time, which luckily my general didn't die. Very happy with that. And let's see how it paid off. I killed basically all of his army. He had so much potential. He could have wrecked me. This wouldn't have been a video. But no. How do you screw up using heavy onagers with someone who literally has no counter and 2 cavalry units? I have no clue. Yes, you could say, oh, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missile units, blah. Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 high-tier units. I have 4 high-tier units. African pikemen, Libyan infantry are basically all crap, and you could probably destroy them all with these Syrian archers alone. Nah, probably not. They need something to defend them. He brought Praetorian Guard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. That's 2 more units. Way better, with Testedo, and he still lost. And he still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Hastati. 6 Hastati versus 6 Libyan infantry, and he still lost. The way that you win a battle like that, and it's really, really simple, is you just protect the onagers. My cavalry is shock cavalry, first of all. It's very easy to see that. Second of all, I only have 2 of them. You only needed to use 2 units of any kind. Any kind. If you literally slowed down the charge of that cavalry, they would have done what we literally saw in the replay. They get slowed down, and then they get chewed up. And they get like 10 kills. And plus, they have Pila. You could just get a Pila volley off. That gets that 20 kills if you do it right. You know? He should have made what I'd say like a wedge formation. or some kind of like, I don't know, bracket formation where the sides were folded in to protect the onagers easier for the cavalry. And the archers just getting charged in the backs. The minute that I took the onagers, then the archers got charged in the backs. He should have fell back. He should have retreated his troops. He had two flanks that weren't being attacked. One of the flanks had like 4 units that were doing nothing. He should have just retreated those units and made them a backline. So yeah, if you're gonna cheat, at least do it right. I mean, he still got like 100 kills between his onagers, but this one mercenary Balearic Slinger with almost full units still did better. So that's just some insight. That's how I killed this annoying cheater. And yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy.